some different types of self-defense techniques, stuff that we teach the actual cadets in the academy. So what some of the things we're gonna teach you is part of their curriculum as well. And my partner, Banner.
So what we did was, well, good morning first of all. So what we did was we took certain things out of the police academy we thought would probably be more prevalent in the field, as opposed to things that the police officers are getting trained in. So that's what we had decided to do. So it seemed like it worked out pretty good yesterday. So part of this portion of this class, we're gonna actually have you guys interact. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I think it's important to see how this stuff actually works. So that's my next question, and again, I'm not trying to pinpoint anybody here, but has anybody here never been in an actual fist fight, like a knockout, drag out, bleeding fist fight? Everybody's been? Never been in a fist fight. Okay, fair enough. So the worst time to realize you can't fight is when you're in a fight. So we got to get you out of that mind frame. So the problem is, and again, you have the same mentality. You're a teacher, you got the apple on the desk, you're nice, people love you. But the problem is when you come across someone who's not so nice, that's when you need to flip the switch. So I was talking about this adage yesterday. A mongoose who's that big and is a hairy rat has 4 enemies, no enemies. The reason is because no one's messing with a mongoose. A 500-pound ferocious lion is not going to mess with a mongoose because the fight the mongoose has in it. So again, you've got to be the mongoose when these things happen. To a high risk where someone's actually engaged in your life. From interviewing people yesterday, it seems like your biggest problem would be another good point yesterday that was brought up. So I have a daughter with special needs. So I know it can be difficult sometimes. We're going to actually implement this, but we brought in pressure points to show you how they work. They're effective on several different, less intrusive, it's less invasive. So it actually cause damage to them. Again, this is all situational. So we're going to talk about biting. Obviously, if someone grabs and starts doing these crazy things, we're going to teach you. So that's the way it is. So start with the head on down to the toes. The head. I'm about to beat the hell out of you.
He beat the hell out of me yesterday, so I'm just kind of like still recuperating from yesterday. But.
Real quick, just one thing I was on too, because I'm glad a good point you brought in. So if you're going to do this stuff, you have to commit to it. You have to say to yourself, "I'm about to do this each time." Again,
we don't expect everybody to be like proficient with this 1 hour thing about, but maybe at some point when you're leaving the mall or you're going through a attack you from behind or somebody out of nowhere. We're just hoping that maybe something that we show you here may have an opportunity either to call 911 or get somebody's attention if it's in a life or death situation. So, I said that yesterday and there was a husband and wife in here. So,
that worked out well.
Yeah.
So you beat your spouse up, you can hire a bunch to represent you.
But some of the stuff we hope that you'll think about it. Maybe it'll kick in at some point, and it may save your life. So
we're going to go through the head to toe. What you have again, I'm going to teach you where it's going to come into play. So as far as the headbutt's concerned, so your forehead is a great tool to use against someone's face. There's a triangle, it's your nose, your teeth, and your orbital sockets. If you can get a good headshot on that, you're in good shape. You'll probably knock the person out if you hit them hard enough. So again, we have to stick to that. We're committed to doing it. I'm going to do it 100%, right? So again, if you hit me in a bear hug, literally all I have to do is come through and smash right there in his face 2 or 3 times. Again, it's not very conventional to bite somebody, but guess what? When it comes up in the situation, bite away. Bite everything you can. Arms, face, cheeks, eyes, whatever you can get to, bite. It's going to stop the assault. Again, I keep going back to it. When someone messes or something messes with a mongoose, it lasts practically a minute or 2 where the thing goes, I'm not messing with that thing anymore. When you're fighting with something like that, you don't want to. It's too much. It's an annoyance. And again, with people like yourself, they don't expect you to fight back because you're the nice apple on the desk, teachers, loving, open arms. So once you test someone like that and they come back with that force, odds are the person going to be like, you know what, I'm good. I'll call it down that one. And that goes hand in hand with, if you're going to do it 100%, you have to. Because if you do it 50%, the person's going to know that they got you. And they can easily overcome any kind of force you're going to put to them. So again, keep that in mind. So again, biting is a great tool. Moving down, the extremities are obviously where you want to be. Your hands, elbows, knees, feet, they hold the best potential as far as causing damage to a person. So again, when we're doing things like an elbow strike is a real good one. You can either do it one of 2 ways. Again, you're going to come in here, you're going to step into the person, you want to cup your hand like this, and again, you're going to twist your body. So with that said, we can't do this like this. If the person was assaulting, be like, back up, back up. That's going to do nothing at all. So we're doing it 100%. We're grabbing here and going, back up, back up, back up. Hopefully you hit him in the face and knock him out. That's ideal. If you catch him in the jaw and you knock him out, it's great. Another method is this. He likes this job. Wait till we get to the groin, he's even better. He likes that. Here again, another method. Instead of going this way, come up. And this way you hit in the chin, like, back up. And once you hit him there, it's going to knock him right out. Again, forearms are great too. A knife strike is simply this, tucking your thumb here, and again, coming across. And it's simply just chopping someone. It's this. Back up! Back up! If you hit them in the throat, you'll knock them out. That artery there, if you cut it off, they're gone. So, it's a good shot. What else you got on your arms? Your hands. Phenomenal. People say don't punch people because of the amount of bones in your hands, but any port in a storm, especially females, if you have rings, have at it. Use them as tools. So with that said, any females here have nails? They're exceptional tools. Again, they're good for scratching, gouging, piercing. So again, if you got them, use them. But, so when we talk about the hands, there's several strikes you can do there too. What's called a hammer strike, and again, that's good for the collarbone. If you ever broke your collarbone, it's very painful. So what you do is here, and again, we're not doing this. It's not this like that. It's your full body coming up and going right through. It's boom, back up, boom, back up. You're delivering hard shots to the person. And again, you do a couple of them, the person will say, you know what, I'm done, I'm good. So, again, your hands. If we get into the realm of trying to disable somebody, a good maneuver is called an ear pop. And basically, your two hands like this. And if you're in a bear hug, you simply take your hands and you go boom, and what's going to happen? Their ears will explode. So their eardrums actually explode. It's pretty neat. If you ever had to do it. So
It's real neat.
again, it's situational. If it ever comes to that fact, it's neat to watch a person actually go down.
We're showing you a lot of these extreme things, and these are those moments when they talked yesterday about, you're in that survival mode in the self-defense, like, what am I going to do? Am I feel my life's in danger, or you feel your life's in danger? Like, what are you going to do to protect yourself and or protect someone else? Maybe your child, maybe a family member. But reality is that you have to change that passive mindset when you are in that situation, and only and that, like what was discussed yesterday, it's how you perceive yourself. Like Steve was telling the class yesterday, is that you have a parent comes in and says, oh, hey, I'd like to talk to you for a minute. You're not going to take and grab and throw on the ground, but if you have that parent's like, I don't like the way you talk to my kid. You and I are going to have a problem after school because I'm going to kick the shit out of you. And then they're walking towards you in aggressive stance, and you're like, now you're in a different mindset. Now, there could be any number of things. You could have a medical condition in your mind that says, I can't get assaulted by somebody. What happens? Maybe I'm on blood thinner or something. If somebody hits me and I bleed out or whatever, but these are the things.
We're not suggesting to them that they punch just because they have, they take blood thinner, though, right?
What's that?
We're not suggesting they punch because they take blood thinner.
No, but I'm just saying, like in your
That's not part of the curriculum.
in your in that mindset, when you're in that mode and you say, listen, I feel my life's in danger, and you got to switch from that passive to that survival mode.
I know why he's talking. He's talking so much because the next thing that's going to happen in the States. Now I figure out what's going on here.
I
I
was trying to hopefully maybe he would forget about it.
So just to get through the leg portion of it, again, your legs are a great tool. Your biggest muscle in your body is your thigh. It packs a punch. Again, your kneecap is a great shot. So when you're doing these, there's two options. Either you're doing open hand or closed hand. Basically, you have to have force, counter force though. So to bring the counter force, you're bringing it in and you're delivering out. So how it looks is just this. You're going to take the person, cut the back of their head, but you always need to get control of the tricep or the clothes or anything you get a hold of. So again, grabbing, even hair if you have to, grabbing it and you're driving through it. Boom, like that. It looks like this. Back up, back up. Watch it, back up. That's how it would look. So again, our target areas are the abdomen. Anybody ever, when they're a kid, fall and hit their stomach on their bike? You're incapacitated and you can't breathe for a good solid minute. If you give one of them to somebody, they're going to be in trouble. If you give 5 more, it's even better. So keep that in mind. Also, the favorite area, the groin area. If you do that, that's going to drop into the weekend. So keep in mind. So
We're not demonstrating that.
yeah, we are. So moving down to your feet, as far as strikes are concerned, close combat, you're not going to get a karate kick off. And again, it's not beneficial anyway. You lose balance. So again, you're in good form here. And again, all we're doing is short chop kicks. So if you like, so basically you're trying to get the person back. So get back. Just short kicks to the person's knee or their shin. So going back to females now. Anybody have high heels? No, they're a phenomenal tool. So if you ever watch Jerry Springer, when the girls ready to do battle and they kick their heels off, that's for a reason. So if you have those laces on the front, like you do, they're a good mechanism to hold on to and swing. If you get hit with one of them, it hurts like hell. Secondly, if you're in close quarters like this, and the person's got you in a bear hug, you take that heel and you rake down their shin like that, its pain is ungodly. So same thing with boots. If you have them, they work pretty good. So that's another option. So, and that's basically all the body weapons you have in your person. Mechanical stuff.
Yeah. So we try to tell you folks sometimes, like try to prepare, try to pre-plan. Like around Christmas time when everybody's out at the mall shopping, first thing you're like, okay, I'm good likelihood that there's people out there looking to steal your purse, steal your Christmas presents, stuff like that. Well, what makes that mindset any different than every day? You are going to leave school. I'm sure that there's a sign parking out there in most parking lots in most school districts. I can look out here and see parking reserved for the chancellor or for the administrative secretary. So if I had a grudge because I don't like the way, maybe if I was a student, maybe I was that parent that doesn't like the way that my kid got suspended, and I want to have a grudge, I'll know exactly what time you come in the morning, what time you leave. I know exactly where you park. So if you are aware of your surroundings, even leaving school every day, when you walk out that door, don't put blinders on, know where you park, look around, make sure you know who's behind you when you're walking through a park. If you're in a parking garage, constantly be aware of your surroundings. We have a lot of tools every day in our pockets, in our purses. I like this keys. I say this a lot. If you reach out in your purse, break your keys out, put them in between your hands like this. You can keep your hands inside your purse. When you're walking to your car, somebody decides to grab you from behind, at least you know you're going to be able to swing and strike and cause a lot of damage with these keys. There are numerous type of things out on the market right now. You can get mace. So I'm going to go through the parking lot, or I'm going to go through this parking garage. Put your hand in your purse. Keep your hand on your mace. Keep your hand on your cell phone. But it's about pre-planning and being aware of your surroundings. We teach this to a lot of the cadets for them to be aware of what's around them every day. Change up every day. Don't be complacent. When they go out on patrol, we tell them take a different route. Don't come out of the station every day and get revenge against you because you arrested me for some reason and I don't think it was fair. Same principle. Every day.
So typically I would do this part of the session, but the DA, Mr. Cat Copeland, is going to actually come in here and
oh, wait a minute.
So we
this
talked
was
about
set up. I didn't even know this.
2 seconds now. So like I talked about before, if you have a lady yesterday asked about what would you do if a student was fist fighting with somebody else or just wrestling around, again, it's not to the level of like striking or kicking. However, you have to disarm whatever's going on. Pressure points are a great thing to do. Again, they're probably not that intrusive. They're painful, but they're not permanently damaging. And again, there's no mark or bruise or anything like that. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to take your hand, and again, I'm sure there's cameras in all your schools. So if we were to do it the first way, which is incorrect, it would be like this. It's no good because I'm sure there's no audio, so it just looks like you're choking the student, correct? So instead, twofold, you're opening up the plane. You're no longer choking the person because you just have their face open, and again, it gives you a better plane to work with. So if you would, take your thumb, and there's a ridge under the earlobe here. You want to stick in and up like that, like hard. Like you want to go in like this. And go. That's the action you want.
Can we do that
Oh
again?
yeah. Do you guys want to get in a line and
No,
try this?
I gotta get that on camera. Just one
So
more
again,
time.
what we're doing is we're opening the plane like this, and we're getting our thumb. Oh, it gets worse. and you want to drive your thumb up the lane and in hard. Yeah, and there it is. That's one. It's a nerve right behind your ear. So your face is full of nerves, and that's where your central location is for pressure points. So there's 4 others. The one I don't recommend, but it's an option for you, is if there's a nerve under your nose, and basically you want to take your 2 fingers, and it's force counter force. So the force is here, counter force is here, and you want to take your fingers and go up and in. Try it. How's it go?
Oh, he won't hesitate.
So it's up and in. So this is what it looks like. It goes up and in like that. And again, that's the reaction you want out of somebody. But again, think about it. You have a student fighting on the ground. These are good maneuvers to do, as opposed to assaulting them. Now, here's one thing I want you to know though. This could cause something to happen afterwards. Like that pisses people off. So you're breaking up one fight, but you may be causing another one yourself. So then we're going to get into other aspects of how to fend that off. But these are when this situation occurs, how to use them. Another good one, but you got to watch yourself on this one. Basically, you're going to take your fingers and splay them off. And again, you want to go under the jawline, almost like you're breaking a wishbone. You're going to go up and in. Watch your head because he's probably going to jump up. Here's the problem with this. If you're going to do this, the reaction is going to be straight up. So you want to kind of candy your body off to the left.
So what am I exactly?
So you're going to put your fingers on the jaw, put your nails under his chin, like in that bone, and squeeze up and in hard. And that's it. See? These things do it. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
See, I like that compassion. Can you have that?
Now, last one, and this one is not really viable because it leaves you open for a strike on their behalf. Again, you're going to cause something to happen here. It's basically a toothache. That little ridge under your cheekbone, where your gum meets your chin bone right there. There's like a little soft spot there. You want to take your thumb and you want to actually dig into it. So you're going to go up and in like that. The problem is this: your hands are tied up now, and you're facing the person. So best case scenario, you go off to the side where they can't really strike you that much. And again, you take your hand like this. If you want, we can do it together if you want. So we're going to take our finger in that joint right there, and you're going to push it straight like 2 feet, just like that. That's what it looks like. Now again,
He's definitely not reacting to my force.
so again, but unfortunately you put in the situation you have to nowadays. So his scenario is, what would you do if it's your children, or your child that someone's beating up? Well, essentially these are your children. So, besides police officers, but you're guarding someone's children, and they're essentially your children. So you got to get that mind frame. And again, his fight or essentially gets seriously hurt or die. So you just got to keep that in mind. So the next 2 we came up with are wrist breakaways and grabbing breakaways. Because we imagine in our head is a parent come up and be like, you're not going to touch my kid, just like that. We thought that would be probably a thing that would probably happen. So when someone does that, the weakest part of your arm is your wrist. That's why people always break their wrists or their ankles. It's the weakest point, so we're going to exploit that today. So whether he grabs you there, we can do an inside-out motion or you can do an outside-in motion. So essentially, whatever one you pick works. There's 3. The last one's devastating. So again, if you came in this way, the person had you here, you take your outside hand, come in, grab the back part of their hand, and basically you're going to squeeze it and turn. You're going to turn it outwards. While you're turning, meeting with your other hand here, and you're going to take 1 step backwards and go, boop, and you roll the person that way. That's what you do. It's simple. It's simplistic. There's no rocket science here. So again, if the person puts their hand up here, you're simply coming from your outside hand in, grabbing the fat part of the hand, twisting outward, and go that way. Even if you grab with one hand, it's still going to work because the wrist is so weak that it can't sustain the drag portion of it. Do you guys want to try this on each other?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you should. So that's the one method. The second method is going to be the actual control technique. That's a throw. This is actually a control technique. So instead of the outside hand coming in, now we're using our inside hand coming out. So again, we're grabbing the back part of the hand, we're twisting it outward. Essentially, when the person's moving their hand, you're going to meet the other hand here. And literally, all you have to do is put a quick twinge in the wrist, and you go down like that. It's very painful. That's my favorite one. So I'm not some sadistic human being. I'm just telling you what I know what works.
Can you tell?
I don't think I'm lunatic or something. So again, your outside hand's coming out, meeting the back part of the hand, we're flipping over, meeting the other hand here, and again, putting a slight twinge in the wrist, and the person's going to go down to the ground. So why don't we do this? If you want to, pair it with each other, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and get up. If you want to try this, we'll go through the motions real quick, and then we'll move on to the next subject. Who would like to try this? You got to feel the pain. You want to try it? So you got, well, 4 people are going to try this. It works. So come on out here. So what we're going to do is this. Bad guy puts his hand on your chest. We'll do outside in first. So take your outside hand.
All right.
So put your hand on your chest. So you're gonna take your outside hand, you're gonna grab the back of the hand. Okay. We're gonna then turn the hand, and then you're gonna meet it with your other hand. Right? When you do that, we're gonna get a good grip on the hand. We're gonna do a slight twinge upward to the person's wrist.
So then you can, I can twist it up.
Or so here, we're gonna grab the hand, right? This way. Right? We're gonna turn it that way. We're gonna move it that way. Here, I'm gonna do a slight twinge on the hand like that. You guys get it? So you're going
The one with the one.
okay, so here, so turn it that way. Look at that hand here.
This here, same principle, and then you're gonna grab it this way.
That, you want to put here, push down on his wrist like that.
Creates distance. So, you know, because I'm here and I'm already I'm gonna take it, I'm going that way so I can get it back and I'm just gonna find something. So you guys good?
All right, so that's that. So now we're going to do the opposite version, right? So the opposite version, your other hand doing that, and essentially you're going to throw the person. Make sense? So again, this is how this one looks. So now we're doing this. So you put his hand up here, right? So instead of going this way, right, instead of going inside out, like going that way, we're now opening up and going from the outside in, turning it this way, taking a step back and throw the person that way. Make sense? So we're taking our outside hand, coming across the back of the hand, opening up, grab, take one step backwards. Sound good? Try it. Yep. Open it up. Keep the hand here. The other hand. Step back this way. Like, search everything is going to work. Now we're going this way. Now we're going to come across this way. Grab the hand there, turn it, meet your other hand, and then you take one step back with that foot, and you go all the way down like that. All right, let's take a seat again, and we'll get to the next method here. All right, so along with that, there's a third method, but you're going to break the person's wrist. Again, if it warrants it, you can have at it. Again, it's got to warrant it, though. So again, if your hand's up here, this has got to be the inside out. It can't be outside in. So I couldn't go from the outside in and try and do this. It wouldn't work. So what happens is this. Essentially, you come across here, you grab the back of the hand. You're coming up halfway, and almost like you're going to pray, you're going to meet halfway here. You're going to grab the fingers like that. You're going to do a slight twinge in the wrist. It's absolutely debilitating. Is what it is. So, yeah, I wish you'd see her faces. They're like, oh!
It's not meant to go that way. It has a little bit of flexibility every other way, just not that way.
So imagine if you're in the classroom and a parent does this to you. Again, you don't have to do this. A control you can hold on to as opposed to throwing them, where now you're going to have yourself a battle. You can keep them at bay for a while and be like, look, you're going to try that again? So that's how that works. The second thing we thought about was someone grabbing your wrist. That's a commonality, whether it was in the classroom or even if they were trying to abduct you or assault you. The typical means are on the weakness of the wrist and essentially the ankle. So we're exploiting the wrist is the main component here. And you're going to come across that wrist like that. So basically you're just coming across, you guys see that? So basically you're taking the fat part of your hand and you're straight down like that. So break off the medial, right? So what's going to happen is we're going to be like this. We're going to take our hand and go, boom, that's correct. You got to follow through. This is where we're going to employ the elbow strike with the knee strike. So we did it. It's boom. So that's how that would work. The second method kind of follows the third method, and again, it depends on what's going on. So you want to just simply get this grab your hand and simply take one step backwards, and it breaks off. Again, we're exploiting the weakness of the wrist. If it was a different situation where it was in 12th grader who looked like he was going to try and beat you up, again, you're simply taking your wrist here, take your hand, grab your fist, and with this now, you're going to take a step forward into the person, and you're coming across that way, up, and striking their chin, like that. Again, you'll probably break their chin, or maybe some of their chin bone. So, again, the first one is this. You're coming across this way, taking a step backwards. The assault is when you're taking a step forward and coming through that way, like that. So, you guys want to try that? No? You good? Yeah, you do? Yes, you do. All right. So we'll do the first one, and then the other one we'll just do it at our leisure. So again, someone's going to grab your wrist with both hands. Both hands, right? So what we're going to do is we're taking our loose hand. We're going to come across it. I'm going to strike the outer hand, strike the inside of the wrist down hard. So you're striking down on the wrist, and then you're coming across with an elbow across. So it's down right on the wrist like that. Opens her up, and then boom like that. And you got to open the to work with. Make sense? Okay. Does that make sense? You guys good? Good.
When you step in, scenario.
So we're good with that method? All right, the second method is when your hand's being gripped by two hands, reach in, grab the ball hand, and just pull backwards with one step. So the person has you with two hands, simply grab your hand and pull back. It breaks up every time. No matter how hard I try to hold it. So they're going to grab your wrist, simply go over the top, grab your hand, make the ball, and just pull back. That one. Yep. So now what we're going to do is, on this phase, we're going to grab the hand, we're going to take one step forward, and we're going to deliver the elbow strike to the face. Yay! This says yay! So now we're going to step in. There you go. Pull one out. So like this. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to step in instead of step back. So all I'm doing is grab it.
To just get you off.
So I'm not sure where to grab.
But I mean, like the third time.
All right, here we go then. All right, take a seat. Remember I saw the rat, Steve Banner. What's up, man? Good to see you. You doing well? Good. You're familiar? All right, so those are the two grips we're probably going to deal with most likely. Someone grabbing your shirt or trying to grab your wrist. Again, exploit the wrist in any means possible. Again, it can be grab here, grab there. The wrist is very weak, so that's the principle we go off of there. Now we're going to go into the chokehold, bear hugs, and choke releases. So, if someone was, what do you want to do first?
Which one's going to hurt less?
All right.
How about the choke?
Okay, sounds good.
Get that out of the way. So
All right. So you're going to get either choked from behind. We'll do headlocks. From behind or in the front. The front's a guillotine. The front's probably not going to happen to you, but if it does, like let's say we wrestle around and somehow my head got hit. That's where you're going to get yourself in trouble. Right there. Again, if you're going to get combative with someone, and that's going to happen. The second more probable one is one from behind. That's the one we're talking about with the girl with the earbuds running down the street. So, I see her, I can probably, get her. It's going to be a running jump grab, this one, like that. You're probably going to have a person with that. So, we'll do the front one first, that's his favorite. So, the key component here is a headlock is what? We're going to lose what? Oxygen, it's going to happen rather quick. So, the crux is you don't want to be in the elbow region. You want to be towards the body. So, if he had me in a headlock, so I have him in a headlock. Immediately, what he wants to do is not turn his head out that way, because that's why I have him in that position. That's it. So immediately, you want to turn your head to the body. You open up an airway now. Now you have a good 2-3 inches of airway. So now we're good. So the person up here does not know that just happened. They think they still have you in a good headlock. So now, with the same principle, you want to take your left hand, where he's at now, and you want to grab the wrist that's around your throat. Now it's starting to loosen up the chokehold. Now this person realizes you're doing something to their choke. Here's where it gets good. So we're here in a headlock. I've now taken my head inside, I'm here. I grab the hand here, and I'm moving it. This person says, what's going on? At this time, what you're going to do is take your hand, and with all your God-given might, you're going to strike the testicles. I mean, so this is how it's going to look. You're going to go, you're going to run to the back, and take like that. That's how it works. Even if you didn't do that back move, get out of there. You broke yourself apart. That person's going to be on the ground for a good 10 minutes. So you'll probably be in China by the time they get up. Just keep that in mind. So again, we're here. immediately turn your head to the body. Grab the wrist here, pull away a little bit, and again, strike, 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 and again, it's probably gonna take two, come through this way and get out of there, and move away. Sound good? Wanna try that one? She does, she's all about it. Let's, we'll do the second one first. Now, you know, we can't practice the second one. So this is one, it's simplistic, it's actually physics how this works. His momentum is gonna go a certain way, he's gonna dictate where you go. So it works out well. The problem is this floor's a little hard, so we actually got brush break yesterday from doing this, so we'll forgo that one too. But we'll just see how it works. So again, the principle is he's gonna come through, put you in a headlock, right? His momentum is gonna take you this way. It has to, he's got no other option for it. So when he goes that way, what you're gonna do is take your backhand, wrap it around, grab either a belt, grab their pants, grab their hair. If the person's a little chunky, you can grab it, you know, if they have not tummy. So again, they're gonna whip you down this way. When they do that, they're gonna go just with it, holding onto their body and just flip them over. So it looks like this. But you can't. So again, in slow motion, he's coming here. Again, he's looking down. Get away, just like that. It's easy. You can actually take a second to realize what's going on too, because the momentum's going so fast you can't actually stop it. So, what was it?
Yeah, sure. No, but like I said, look, in what we're teaching you, and in a perfect world, right? But some things don't always work out the way we plan them. So you kind of got to improvise. With the headlock in the front, if you don't get turned, and you get into that position where you mistakenly turn outward and you start getting choked, you know, reach around for something. Find a pen, find a comb, whatever you can find on your body, and start hitting the person with it. Hit them in areas that are very vulnerable to them. You know, the ribs are real sensitive. If you start striking the ribs,
I'll show you that in a minute. Can we agree as far as so we're privy to that? So can we agree that this is a deadly situation?